Hey everyone, we're here today to put in the Bicycle Girl ramp protector and a couple of the other Cliffy protectors on The Walking Dead. And basically where that protector goes, it goes under this ramp, because this ramp kind of comes down pretty hard onto the playfield. So Cliffy made a ramp, or a protector, so the ramp, but it comes down, goes onto the metal, and not onto your playfield. So I'm going to put that on. And the way to do that is there's a plastic protector up here that I already took off with screws that go into these posts, these Phillips head screws here. And then basically there's also covers that go over these metal shafts here. And I already took those off for the posts. And basically now what you need to do is take these out, and how you have to do it is you have to get like a long socket and put it over this shaft or post, and go from the underside of the playfield, and as you're loosening this, you need to hold the nut on the other side so you can take these posts out to apply the protector. So we're going to go under the playfield next and see what nuts have to be held to take these posts out. Okay, so now we're under the playfield, and I already removed the posts that were right in front of the Bicycle Girl ramp, and it's these posts right here, right by this board right here. There's two holes that are there now where the posts used to be. So it's kind of, if you look at it, it's like the top hole, because there's a couple, there's two more that's under that. So it's the very top holes of where the post would be. And then I basically used a, one side I held it with this socket wrench here that I have. That's 1132. And then I also use a deep socket wrench, or socket set I should say, which is that, and that's a 3/8. So I use the 3/8 for the to take for the top of the playfield with the posts, and then I use the other socket wrench for the for the bottom of the playfield. So now what we're going to do is go back to the top of the playfield and install the protector under the ramp and see how that fits in. Okay, so here we are on top of the playfield again, and this is the protector right here from Cliffy. This goes under the ramp, basically. And I already took the film off. Remember to always take the film off the one side that is on here to protect the, I guess, the metal, so it doesn't get scratched, or when he cuts it, it's on the metal already. So basically, you would take this piece, and the thin side here, there's two sides. There's a fatter side, which is at the bottom, and there's a thinner side at the top here. And then basically that slides, like, I'm trying to do this with one hand too. I don't have my tripod right now. So if you take this and line up the holes, it goes something like that, because we already took the posts out. So it goes something like that. Like I said, the thinner side goes more, towards the zombie head that way. And then you would take your posts, which I have here, that we removed before, and just kind of put it inside the holes of the protector and the playfield here. So now what we need to do is go back under the playfield and apply the nuts again, doing the same process that we did to remove it. Put one side of the deep socket on top of the post here to hold the nut down, and go to the bottom and apply the nut and tighten down these posts that way. So, neither one spins as you're tightening, so you need both to apply at one time. So we're going to put this back on, and then what we're going to do next is apply the protectors to the shooter ramp, or I'm sorry, the shooter lane. There's 3 protectors for that, and we'll do that next. Okay, so now we're on top of the playfield again with the protector installed, and as you can see, the protector kind of comes down. I have foam on the bottom line. I think that was a fix that Stern issued later on as a fix, I guess, for some playfields that were getting a bit messed up by the playfield, or by the ramp slamming down onto the playfield. So this is the protector right here under where my pointer is, right here. So what you need to do now is put these rubber covers back on the posts, and they're the bigger ones, and they're the rubber ones. I already put it on this side. And then what you need to do is put the ball when you get air balls, you need to put the ramp back on top of that, and the screws go towards the back of this. And again, there's plastic covers that go over the screws too. So you got to put those on the post, so the screws are covered by that plastic. And that's it. And there are 2 Phillips head screws. And then you just screw this back down. So that's actually pretty easy. That's not really a difficult protector to put in. The Star Trek and AC/DC were probably 2 of the hardest ones that I've ever done. I've done a bunch of them now, but those are the 2 hardest ones so far. This one wasn't bad at all. So that's it. So now, as the bicycle girl ramp goes up and down, it falls onto the metal of the protector and not on your playfield. So it works pretty good. So hopefully you don't get any kind of air balls or nothing like that with it. I don't see that happening. But you never know. Some people have problems with some of Cliffy's stuff with air balls and stuff like that. I've never had really many issues, but I think they're actually a really good product. So next we're going to do the shooter lane protectors, and there's 3 of those, and we're going to work on that next. Okay, so now what we're going to do is install the shooter protectors, the shooter lane protectors, and what we need to do now is take off the apron. And the way you take off the apron is that there's under the cards, the rule cards, there's 2 nuts, one here and one here. These need to be removed to lift off the apron. So we're going to do that now, and then go to the bottom of the playfield and go to the ball launcher, the trough, and show how to remove that, and then apply the protector once we get the trough off. Okay, so now we're under the playfield and we're looking at the ball trough, and we need to remove this to get the protector under the lip of the top of where the ball ejects out into the playfield. So basically there's 6 nuts or bolts here. There's one here, here, and then 3 on the other side as well of the trough. Those all need to be removed so this could loosen out and kind of drop down. And then there's 2 screws on the top of the playfield where the ball ejects out of the hole. Those 2 screws need to come off as well to get the protector underneath. So let's remove these bolts, these 6. I'm going to drop the trough down, and then we're going to go to the top of the playfield and look at the way that the protector gets installed. Okay, so now I dropped down the ball trough, which is right here. So the 6 screws that held that in, I took it out, and now I just kind of rested on the leg over here, the support of the playfield. And then also too, what you have to do is over here where these screws are, that holds the wood rail on top of the playfield, and you need to loosen these 2 screws out, like loosen them down so you could slip the protector underneath the wood rail on top of the playfield. And because if you don't, then you can't loosen that, get under the wood of what the protector has to do. So there's, I believe, both protectors. Oh no, the other protector, actually we have to loosen these screws probably too, or also I should say, because there's another protector that goes on that side that protects the side of your ball, on the playfield where the ball launches into, and it protects that from getting wear. So these 2 screws that, let me back up the camera a little bit here. This screw here, where my pointer is, that one, and that one has to get loosened as well as these 2 on the other side has to on the wood rails. So we're going to loosen those 2 screws up, and then we're going to go to the top of the playfield and show how to install the other protectors. Okay, so now we're on top of the playfield again, and what we're going to do is install the shooter protector here that comes out of the shooter hole in the trough. And basically how that goes in, the protector needs to be set up this way. So this straight line kind of goes to the side, of your shooter lane on this side. So again, it needs to be kind of placed that way. Since we loosened our rails here and here from underneath, and loosened the 2 screws here also too. Let me turn the light on. And loosen and remove the 2 screws here for this ball launcher here in the ball trough area. We needed to drop the ball trough too because there's a lip that hangs down over here that the protector needs to go under. So again, so what we're going to do now, my hand is probably going to be in the way, but you need to coerce this a bit to get it in. Not too hard, but we kind of lift that up and slide the protector under that part, and then we kind of lift the wood rail a little bit, just enough to get the protector under there. And then you kind of shimmy it that way and that way to get the protector in to cover this launch area here, this square there. And that's really it. The holes line up. So we're kind of square with this part in here with the protector. And then what we're going to do is put now the 2 screws back into this part of the ball launch. So we'll just snug that one down. And then put in this screw. And kind of, if you can, it's kind of hard here with the camera in the way as well, but if you can, kind of hold this as you're tightening it down with your like pointer, just kind of pushing on a little bit so it doesn't move as you're tightening these screws down. So that's that protector is in. I mean, I could go a little bit more flush a little bit, because Cliffy puts in his protectors like a bigger hole area to kind of move it around, just to kind of shift it a bit. So that's that. So that area is in. And now what we're going to do now is put the protector on here on this side for the ball launch as well, so it doesn't ruin the this side of your play field when the ball gets launched. So it's going to move the camera this way so you can get a better view of it. So again, this is loose because I loosened the screws from the bottom. And then what you want to do is, the screw that's on the bottom, the first screw, there's a hole here in the protector here. So what you want to do is find that hole. You want to take your protector, kind of lift this wood up, and kind of maneuver the protector under the rail. So you kind of lift that up and kind of sneak that protector under there. And then what you want to do, my screwdriver, you just kind of want to take your screw, and I'm not in the hole, as I can tell by the screw kind of going up. Let's try this again. So I think we're in with the screw. So now what you want to do is just kind of adjust this a bit. You don't want it to hang too far over the lip of the ball lane here, the shooter lane. But you just want it enough so when the ball launches out of here and it hits into this side of your wood rail, it doesn't mess this side up of your shooter lane. So I think that's pretty good of where it is now. So I'm just going to put I'm probably going to block the camera a bit, but I'm going to kind of hold it in place a bit. And then you tighten the other screw up, and that's it with that protector. And that protector's in, and that's the other side of the shooter lane. And then what you want to do for the last piece is, let's just kind of, there's one more protector, and this the bubble adjuster here on your shooter lane on the wood rail needs to come off. So that comes off, and then you take your protector, and again, always remember to remove the film from your protectors before you putting them on. And then you kind of take the protector, line it up with the holes of where your bubble adjuster just came off of. And then position it in the holes of the protector. And just screw it in. Oh, my hand's in the way. And then there's one last screw that he gives you in the kit that goes at the end on this side. You kind of got to make that hole yourself, I believe, but this wood is pretty soft, so if you just kind of push down a bit, you can make your own hole, and then that's it. So that's it. So that's that protector on this. So when the ball comes out, this side is protected of your shooter lane, and then this wood rail is protected by this metal piece as well. So what we're going to do is just go under the playfield one more time, put everything back together again, and be finished with our protector set. Okay, so what we're going to do now is for the in lanes, there's protectors that go on that as well. And that's this right here, and they go on both sides. So where where the ramps come down onto the playfield, so it prevents ball, over time when your switches over here get all messed up, the wood that gets all messed up. And basically how they go is that there's a rounded part that goes towards the bottom when you're putting it into the switch slot over here into this right here. And basically how that goes, if you could get in there, I know my hand is in the way, but you kind of get it like the notch going, and you kind of just like steer it in a bit, and then now that it's in the slot here, you kind of push it down a bit, so that middle part, as I was speaking about, is at the bottom, and that's it. And then you push it down, because you have the glue, or the adhesive side down onto the playfield, and that's it. Remember to take the plastic off of that before installing it as well. There's an adhesive around it that protects it before you get it. It's a pain to get off once you get it in there, and to get that plastic off. So that goes in that way. And again, before I did this, I cleaned this lane over here, this part, with a little bit of alcohol, so it took the wax off and all that, so it gives it a better stick to the playfield. So we're going to do the same stuff for the other side. I'm not going to film it because it's the same side repeated, but there's two of those as well that you need to install. And then also two, if I can find them, Cliffy sent 2 magnets, if I could find, yeah, they're right here. And then these go, there's an adhesive on the back of these as well. And then these go, let me just steer my camera a bit, over here, and they go around that. And there's one also for the prison on top as well, that goes on the top. That goes over here. He's in the way, the well walker's in the way, but I don't know if I could really get it, but it's the same thing as this one down here, as that one. And again, they stick from the back. Clean your playfield with alcohol before adhering them because it'll give you a better stick. And that's it. And that's the end of the pretty much all the protectors on the playfield. Okay, so now the ball trough is put back in. I just screwed everything back in with the 6 screws. So this is the under the playfield of the trough. And then if we go to the top of the playfield, that's how everything looks with the trough back in. See, like this little lip here goes over that protector. So that's why you need to remove the trough, the ball trough, to get to put that in. So that's why all that has to be removed. And then you have the 2 protectors on this side, the top one here that we did, and then the bottom one here to protect the ball lane when the ball ejects out of the trough. So that's that. What we're going to do now is put on the apron again, and again that goes onto these 2 nuts, or these 2 posts right here. There's one post here, and then there's another post here. And then the apron would fall back onto it, and then you screw the 2 nuts in on top of the apron, and then you put your rule card in, the price card, and that's it. And that covers up the 2 nuts that hold that on. So again, thanks for watching my video. And again, my website's pinballsupernova.com, and I have a Facebook page, a YouTube page, a Twitter page, all linked to the homepage of pinballsupernova.com. And thanks for all the subscribers and people who watch my videos. I think I have about 182 people now on YouTube, which is great. And my Twitter page, a lot more people are coming on to follow my site, which is great as well. So again, I do these videos for things that I look for on the web that I can't find, but you might want to find out how to do protectors on a machine, and you can find it for your specific machine. If I have the machine somewhere near me or in my house or at some location and I'm putting them on, then I will post it onto the web. So again, email me if you have any questions, info@pinballsupernova.com. And again, thank you to everybody who subscribes to my pages. I really appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Happy holidays.